Welcome back to the newsroom here at France 24. It's time for Media Watch. James Creedon is here with all the top juicy stories from the online sites and elsewhere. Let's start with the big debate here in France. Lawmakers have started to debate on whether or not same-sex marriage should be legal. And Christiane Taubira, the Defence Minister, the Justice Minister, she had a spirited defence of why it should be the law.
That's right. She spoke at length in the Parliament today, and people are saying it was an historic speech. She said, let's say what needs to be said. Gay marriage, what is gay marriage going to take away from heterosexual couples? And she went on to defend it tooth and nail. And in fact, she finished with a line of poetry. And let's take a listen now to that very strong end to what many have described as an historic speech today in the French Parliament.
We are so proud of what we're doing that I want to define it through the words of the poet Léon Gontran Damas. The act that we are going to achieve is as beautiful as a rose who, in the shadows of a besieged Eiffel Tower at dawn, sees its petals open. It is great, like the need for change. It is strong, like the sharp, shrill sound of a cry in the long night. Thank you.
Oh, very moving scenes in the Parliament today.
Absolutely, and the reaction online has been very interesting, Laura, because actually that extract from a poem, let's take a look at the computer and I can show you what that poem was. Grand comme un besoin de changer d'air, great as a need for change. Now, the poet behind that is a poet from her home place in French Guiana. That's in Latin America. It's one of the French overseas territories. She, of course, herself, the Justice Minister, is a woman. She is black. She's from French Guiana. And what she has been saying again and again about this gay marriage and adoption bill is that it's more than just a bill about gay marriage. It's about progress generally, and I think she feels that quite personally. There's a lot of conviction in how she argues for it.
Yeah,
absolutely. So just to show you
and she's kind of preaching to the converted, though, isn't she? Because most people here in France do support same-sex marriage. If I understand
the statistics is a majority certainly in favour, but there is a strong
electorate,
a vocal minority against it. Now I'll show you some of the tweets in reaction to that speech today. Taubira was exceptional, no notes, a magnificent speech and historic, says one person. Christiane Taubira seemed like Simone Veils in 1974 or Robert Badinter in 1981. Now, Simone Veils was the health minister back in 1974 when she gave an historic speech in favour of abortion rights for women. Robert Badinter was the Justice Minister in 1981 when he also made an impassioned plea for the end to the death penalty. So people are saying really that this is kind of the same ilk. That's of course what people in favour of her are saying. But
there is another side as well.
There is another side as well, and I can show you some of that now. Jacques Bompard. Now, he is one of quite a few centre-right and even far-right deputies who have put down some 5,000 amendments to this bill.
So they're just seeking to tie it up with delays, aren't they, really?
But what's, I think, particularly noticeable about some of these propositions is that, let's take a look at this headline, French right calls for polygamy and incest to be added to gay marriage bill. Now, what they're doing there, obviously, is being somewhat ironic, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, and saying, hey, we're opening up marriage to same-sex couples. Why not? Let's keep going and open it up to everybody and everything. What they're also trying to do is slow down the process of having the law passed. Now, I saw an interview...
When are we going to have a vote on this? Do we know, or does it go on...
The debate is going to go on for the next 2 weeks, so we're looking at another long period of time. Absolutely. But another thing that we saw today was Guiano. Now, he's a former speechwriter for Nicolas Sarkozy. He also pleaded in Parliament for a referendum because this is an exceptional moment and it is an exceptional choice. And he believes
that might be the way forward.
It might be the way forward. It probably won't happen, though. In fact, it's highly unlikely to happen. Now, what I think is interesting is if you have people calling Christiane Taubira's speech historic, get a load of this tweet. Standing ovation for an historic speech by Henri Guiano. So look,
lots of history being made today.
Lots of history being made, and people are convinced that his speech was historic too, because he was arguing for the opposite. So I think people are kind of convinced of whatever they want to be convinced of in this particular
Everything's
instance.
Historic when it comes to Twitter, isn't it?
Right. Including, can I show you one kiss that's historic? Let's take you a look at this. This was 2 socialist MPs this weekend.
Having a little smooch.
Having a smooch. Now, they are heterosexual. Each of them are married, and they were doing it as a reminder of this particular kiss. These were also 2 heterosexual friends. There have been these big public displays of support amongst heterosexuals for this gay marriage bill, including 2 MPs over the weekend.
Not? Right. Lovely. Smooches all round. All
Absolutely.
right. James Creedon, thank you
Laura.
very much indeed. We're going to take a short break and we will leave you with web news.